everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of Reasonable Dialogue. It's your girl, Chasing Kia here.
It's your girl, Yan.
It's your girl, DJ Miss Milan.
Hey, y'all, it's Jazz.
And we here with it, back again, another week. How are you, ladies? What's been going on?
Another one.
That made me think of that LeBron meme where he'd be like, you know what? Make it another one. But no, I'm doing good. It's sunny in LA today. How about y'all?
It was nice here. It was nice here in Jersey. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, it was nice here in Jersey. I was a little shocked.
What, it's been like cold? I'm in the South now, so.
That's the thing. Like, it hasn't been cold, but it's been really, really windy. So whatever warmth that we was getting was being canceled out by the wind for like a week. Yeah, so it finally was like a normal spring day.
Yeah, it felt really nice outside. I literally walked my dog like 3 times today. That's how nice it was.
Okay, girl.
Oh,
I know. Zoe got 3 walks today. She needs it. She's fat. If y'all know any tips for dogs losing weight, please send them to @ChasingKia because my dog has exceeded her weight.
What you feeding them? Steaks?
Actually, yeah, my mom fed her steak and rice while I was away.
Wow. I mean, I feel it. Bring me back as your dog.
No. No, Zoe is obese.
Well, she getting love too. So, love do make you a little plump. You know what I'm saying? That good relationship love sometimes.
Well, Michelle Obama said, let's move.
But my personal week has been good. I can't even lie. I've been damn well across the damn pond, around the world and back. And it's been a great week for me, honestly. I can't complain. It's Pisces season, so gearing up for my birthday coming up next week. So I'm super excited for that. We had Kia, who celebrated her birthday recently.
Yeah. What a birthday. The girls got me. They got me down. I was sick on my birthday.
Oh, no.
What did you do?
So I went down to DC only because, it's just been a lot going on personally, and I just wanted to get out the state. Like, normally I always do a big vacation. I'm always like, let me go to some island. Let me go to Europe. But I was like, I just want to get out the state. I have so much going on that I'm, trying to plan for and prep for. And, one of the greatest advice I ever got was from, this isn't a name drop, but Lenny S. And he was like, when you're going through something, when you're in a creative, drought or whatever, take that time to really invest it in yourself. Watch movies you never watched before. Go to an exhibit. Actually take that time and energy and money and invest it back into yourself. So I was like, okay, well, let me at least go to DC because DC does have some dope museums and exhibits. I really wanted to see the Basquiat exhibit while I was down there. But I just got sick. I don't know. I woke up the morning of my birthday and it was just all day. But that night it was worse and I couldn't even make it out the hotel. So yeah.
Sorry to hear that, but we're glad that you at least got to celebrate out of state. You know what I'm saying?
I think I get older and I'm just okay, I'm just happy to be here.
Mm-hmm.
I've had people I've lost before the age of 28. I've had people I've lost before they even reached the age of 21. So it's to be able to see 28 is still a blessing. Regardless if I had to see it from a nice hotel, very, comfy bed. Mm-hmm. But it was nice to see it.
I love that. I'm glad that you were able to enjoy that sincerely. You have been going through some things, girl, but you are definitely pushing through and we're super duper proud of you for that. So I'm glad you got to celebrate your birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, them niggas tried to take me out.
They trying to kill you to your bitch.
Yo, Miley, you're a legend for that. I really want you to know that. You're a legend for many things, but definitely that.
That will forever go down in history as one of the greatest lines ever. I say that for everything. I'm not gonna lie.
It fits. Wait, Jan, did you tell us about your week? What was going on with your weekend?
My weekend was pretty chill, to be honest. I just kind of tapped out because it wasn't a payday weekend. So I went to the gym, chilled out.
It wasn't a payday weekend.
I'm trying to listen. When it's not a payday weekend, Tatiana be in the house. Okay.
Oh my God, the viewers gonna be like, y'all.
That's why we listen to y'all right now. Right. It's not a payday weekend.
Got this shit on the TV screen, lighting the candle, cleaning the apartment. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I will say though, so I did get into a lot of shows this weekend. I had a lot of free time, so I have watched Paradise. I actually need to really stop.
I heard a lot of good things.
So good. It's so good.
You see, for me, I feel like I want to get into shows, but I don't want to get into them because everybody else is in them. Is that kind of weird? Am I trying to be like different? You know, like
I don't think
know,
you're trying to be
but...
different. I feel like sometimes people, like, same with albums and stuff, people kind of just want to engage with them on their own pace so that they're not viewing them or listening to them through the lens of what they're seeing online.
Yeah.
So that actually makes sense to me, but I keep seeing people talk about it, and I was like, let me see what this show is about. Because I actually did try to watch it a while ago and I literally slept through the first episode. I'm like, this shit is ass.
What is it, like some CIA shit? Like, what's going on?
It's like some futuristic presidential shit. Like, it's really fire. The plot is cool if you pay attention. And that's like, you literally, if you would have asked me what this show is about the first time I watched it, I was like, I don't fucking know. That shit was corny. But when I actually paid attention, I'm like, oh, this shit is fire.
Yeah, it's one of those ones you really got to pay attention. I personally tapped into it because I just love Sterling K. Brown as an actor. Like, he is one of those ones. And I was a huge fan of This Is Us. So when I seen like he was someone that was leading a charge on the show, I said I had to tap in because the way he acts is just like you can feel it through the screen.
Yeah, 1000%.
I could personally never get into... I've never seen an episode of This Is Us. I've heard so many people talk about it. I'm not going to lie. But every time I saw somebody talk about it, it's just crying. Everybody's crying on that show.
And it's a very emotional show.
Yeah.
But it basically is about them unpacking their family trauma. So it's like they're reliving it, but unpacking it. So you're reliving it and unpacking it with them. And it's like, girl.
Yeah, but the writing on that show is
amazing.
One of the best in the game. And I really love that This Is Us championed a lot of Black writers and women too. And I just think This Is Us is one of those shows that also really highlighted Mandy Moore's pivot in a way that I feel like is not talked about in pop culture a lot. Because I love
Mandy Moore, the white queen.
Yes, she plays the mother. She plays the mother.
Walk to Remember. Yes.
Wow, that was my little pop sensation back in the day. I love that. I love that. Okay, now I'm finna watch it. Yeah. Thank you. And plus, I think I need to challenge myself to watch things that I'm not used to watching too, especially considering that I want to learn about filmmaking and screenwriting and stuff like that. So it's like tapping into like territories that you normally wouldn't really listen to and watch. I should probably do that because I've been watching Lioness, I believe is a show with Zoe Zelda, if I'm saying her name right or whatever. But I've been watching that show, which has been pretty good. It's kind of the same concept, except this is more like army base kind of things. You know, she created her own section in the army where they go after like terrorist groups, but it's a woman-led type of army team basically. So she's like the head bitch in charge. She, you know, make all the plays, all the calls. Nicole Kidman is in it. You know what I'm saying?
So, wow, I love her.
Yeah, so that's what really made me want to watch it because I love me some Nicole Kidman. So so far it's been pretty good. I finished season 1. Now I'm on to season 2. But I'm trying to finish it because I have been hearing about Paradise and I want to get into Paradise as well too. Oh, and I also been hearing a lot about White Lotus. I don't know if you guys...
I don't like White Lotus. That's something I tried to get into it like the earlier seasons and I don't know, like it just, it's really boring to me.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea. I'm more of a Succession girly.
Yay!
Like, I'm more like that's more up my alley. I like shit like that. Like, give me like some families fighting over businesses. Give me like niggas that's locked in their jobs. I like shit like that. Like, I just do, man. I like it.
Nah, I feel you because I was mad that Severance, not Severance. That's another show. That's another show. But Succession, it doesn't, is no more. I was really sad about that, to be honest. But Severance, I also have to get into because I heard. But I heard it's kind of like a slow burner.
No, it is. I don't think it's a slow burner for me. Yeah, that was the other one I was gonna say. So after I finished Paradise, I finished season 2 of Severance, and it frustrates me because both of the finales, season 1 and season 2, like they're so good.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is really how y'all gonna leave us hanging? Like,
I just want to say shout out to them for filming it in New Jersey. Bang, bang, bang. Yes, the building that they filmed it out of is in New Jersey. I didn't know that till I went on TikTok. I was like, what the fuck? Like, yeah.
Oh, because they did like a whole in-person interactive kind of thing.
That was so dope when they did that. I think it was at Grand Central Station they did that, where they basically like recreated the cubicle and had them really going in there acting. Like, that was performance art at its peak.
That to me made me be like, okay, I love when a show actually goes the mile to like promote themselves and really have the audience involved in it. And I thought that was like a beautiful way to do that. I was like, damn, I would have definitely tuned in some more to see this show just because of that, whatever. But
I think the conversation around it is so interesting though, because I see a lot of people saying like they're just running around the office like this show is mad boring. Like that's all y'all got from this?
Is running around the office. They're literally signing their lives over.
Okay.
And you're like, they're just running around the office. What?
You see, like shows and music, to me, you have to have a certain kind of audience to talk to people about. Like, I can't talk to everybody with music the same way I don't feel like I could talk to everybody when it comes to shows as well. Because some people, they don't have the range, if you're going to be honest.
The range. Yep.
Well, who says some of y'all don't fit the category?
You don't. Right. You are a baddie watcher. Got it.
Okay.
No
hey.
I knew Kia was going to say that. I was crying.
I will say the last...
Kia, you got a baddie chain?
I might have one in the text. I
don't know. What is so interesting about baddies? Because all I see is these bitches fighting each other.
Literally.
Like, it's like
that's
wrestling.
Why I be like, what the fuck?
Oh, right. It's like but wrestling 3.2.
That's the perfect analogy, though. It is like wrestling. It's like they all have different characters and personalities. Like you have Tinkerbella, she's from Philly.
Tinkerbella?
Tinkerbella. It's Tinka Bella.
Oh my gosh.
Tinkerbella came on last season when they was in the Caribbean, but she was, y'all know Meatball from Philly. Everybody know Meatball.
Yeah.
I love Meatball.
So apparently they like best friends or like grew up like big sister, little sister or whatever. And apparently when Tinkerbella started blowing up, or at least, started getting her shit off, Meatball felt like she was being left behind. Now, I ain't gonna hold you. It did come off like a little jealousy on Meatball's behalf. But they had their own little like relationship. So that was interesting seeing that come together and fall apart, and how Meatball was a little jealous when Tinka got her baddie chain before Meatball. Like they be having little storylines. They got the newbies on now, so now it's the newbies versus the OGs. But I ain't gonna hold you. I did fall asleep during the last episode last night because it just wasn't given. Like at this point, it just feel like we just fighting just to fight. Like we not even actually having the storylines anymore. Like former seasons, we used to have storylines. We used to have little funny moments, and we ain't even getting it no more. Everybody just
what the hell is the storyline?
Aren't they in the Midwest this season? That also
they are in the Midwest this season. But like one season, it was like Tasiki, and that's Krishan's older sister. But it was her first season, and you got to see their relationship come together and fall apart because it was like, yo, I'm here for you, I'm riding with you, and they were going against Natalie. Then Krishan got her sister jumped.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Oh wow.
So Krishan's sister had to literally fight two of Krishan's friends because they were the ones that jumped her. Krishan was like, yo, go fight my sister. And they went and did it. And Tasiki beat their ass one by one.
Oh, wait. Was that the...
Yes, that's the clip. Let me teach you.
Yeah.
So it's like they do be having storylines. It's just that in this, I don't know. It just feels like the bigger they're getting, it's like now they're cheapening their own kind of brand. Because even the first season had Tanisha from Bad Girls Club on it, because she's actually the co-creator of it, her and Natalie.
What?
Yes, there's a whole... That's what I'm saying. Baddies was never always how we see it now. It actually used to be an extension of Bad Girls Club. It just actually featured more Black women.
The CIA one. Damn.
And then it was like, once they put Krishan on there, it was like, it was just like a quick, like, I would say after the Caribbean, it was like downhill.
That's crazy. I do hear that they get the bag though. The baddies,
them girls be getting like 60. Them girls get $60K for 1 month just to go in the house.
Right. So I'm like, okay, you may lose your teeth, you may lose some edges, you may even break a finger or a foot.
Yep.
But you at least up $60K for the month.
And they be getting club bookings. So it's like they be wanting to come on the show and quote unquote do their big one, because the more noticeable you are, you get more club bookings. Then you get the Fashion Nova gigs. Like these girls be, I ain't gonna hold you, they be changing their lives by going on baddies. But from a consumer standpoint, I'm also conflicted because I'm like, why the fuck are we now going to Africa? Like, this is out of control.
America should have been the final stop, but I guess.
Yeah. So
okay. I hope they go to Iceland and other white countries.
So. I hope they stop. I want them to stop.
Like, what you mean Africa? Like, get out the motherland. Go to Iceland, okay? Go to Nova Scotia. Like,
they go where they get bookings.
Oh
okay.
my God.
Baddies Nova Scotia would go crazy.
Baddies Australia.
That shit is crazy.
Baddies Down Under would be cute though. Baddies Down Under.
I kind of feel like I was very much so on the Jocelyn Hernandez, the Puerto Rican princess train. You know, when the show, what was it called? Jocelyn Cabernet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she said Cabernet, but I really had liked that, you know, but I feel like her plot to her story was her trying to, you know, really get out the strip club, low-key be a pimp, high-key be a pimp.
Right.
But try to get the girls out the strip club, but still put them back in the strip club. Right. But on her terms. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. Like a woman being like sexist.
Right. She was the pimp. She's the one doing the bending.
This is so bad.
So I didn't mind that. But it got a little crazy and she got a little crazy. She was literally running around like the cocaine bear at one point in time. And I just was like,
that was a moment.
We doing too much. Yeah. We doing too much. We doing too much. So, but yeah, shout out to yeah, the Puerto Rican cocaine bear.
Cocaína.
Cocaína bear.
I'm never going to get a Jocelyn interview.
No, you know what's crazy? I feel like Jocelyn is such a down-to-earth kind of bitch. She'd be like, you laughing at me, ho?
Oh. Yo, that impersonation is 10 out of 10. That's crazy.
But she would be with it, though. I think she like real bitches. Like, we laughing at you, but you a funny bitch, so that's why we laughing at you.
Jocelyn got a hit. Don't sleep on what's the
I like the way you are.
I like the way. Yeah, that's a classic. And then you got I'm gonna call it classic. And then you got fucking she be like la da da la da da.
And we can't forget about the baby boy. What you doing on me?
You know what?
Yeah, that's me.
Today because I don't know any of these songs.
Oh my God.
I was literally going to say, Jan, like, it's so crazy the way music consumption has changed over the years because I literally only know these songs because of like these sound bites, these reels.
From
like,
TikTok. Yep.
The tiki-takis. Like, I'm not like naturally tapped into the Puerto Rican princess, you know, still love you, girl. Don't bite me. But like, it's so funny that I know these songs when we're talking about because of these clips. Like, it's very
but you know what? You bring up a valid point, which I think is just like the way we are exposed to music, or at least like the younger generation, it really is through Reels and TikTok. Because like there's so many mixes, so many younger artists. Like, even when we went on our road trip for DC, my cousins was putting songs on place. I'm like, what the hell is this? It's like, oh, I found it on TikTok. And I'm like, damn, TikTok is really like a mini A&R now. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, like, you know, like back in the day for us in our group, we would get these sound bites from the radio, you know, like MTV Jams, 106 Park, TRL, you know, what our mamas would listen to, our daddies are listening to. But, like, these kids and, like, the youth coming up, and even myself, I'm getting hip to music through sound bites. Like, I feel like that was something that happened with like an artist, for example, like Chappell Roan. People thought they didn't know her, but then they would hear the song and be like, oh, I have heard that. Like, you know, so it's just interesting. Any artist y'all that got hip to through these clips or sound?
Charlotte, so many. Definitely Jocelyn. I definitely found out more about Jocelyn through the TikTok. I'm not gonna hold you. That got my interest back.
Honestly, no, not really. If I could be honest.
I couldn't think of any, to be honest.
It's a lot of DJs. A lot of DJs, a lot of mixes, a lot of SoundCloud.
That is a great point. That is a great point, actually. That is something like I see a lot of the selection blends on TikTok or hear them, or even just like other DJs that I never heard of that are overseas that are doing really cool R&B blends. And a lot of the time I'm seeing them on TikTok or Instagram Reels.
Yeah. So for me, it's like, no, not really. I probably already heard it in passing, but the song got popular because of TikTok, if that makes sense. Because, you know, my DJ ears, I'm always going to hear something before it actually pops off. Because, you know, I actually do my job as a DJ. But,
period.
But when I do see it on TikTok, no shade, no tea. But when I do see it on TikTok and I'm like, oh, okay, this is a song that I heard or somebody sent me this thing, now it's blowing up. Because, like, I remember, like, I don't think Pop Smoke blew up on TikTok, to be honest, but I remember going through my email and seeing somebody from his team at that time send me his music like beforehand, before he blew up type shit. Because, you know, sometimes you go through your email, you cleaning it out, whatever. And I'm like, what the hell is this email? And I saw an email from somebody from, you know, Pop Smoke team, not an official team, but, you know, like the hood niggas or whatever. And I'm like, this like new rising artist out of New York. Brooklyn's own Pop Smoke, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, okay, you know, not that I did not pay attention to it, but it's like you pass by it type shit. And then I started to see his personal growth. I was like, oh shit, that's the same email that I had got, like, you know, back in the day, of somebody like talking about Pop Smoke or whatever the case may be. So for me, that's how I personally would discover music outside of the Clock app. But I see it getting more popularized, if that makes sense.
Because that's how I discovered Ice Spice, was that her team had emailed me.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to it and going, all right, this is cute. And then I kept it moving. And then they sent me more stuff. And I was like, okay, this is cute. Keep it moving. Because I'm the type, I don't feel like I need to rush to write about you until I really see, like, okay, you're moving something in a way where I feel inclined to want to, like, cover you or talk to you. But the problem is with a lot of these artists, by the time they blow up, which is very quick, they don't even want to deal with you. So it's like they don't even give you a chance to really try to build with them, or like at least hear them out and figure them out before you want to talk to them, because you just lose that connection. But that's how I discovered Ice Spice before she blew up on social media. They were in my email.
Yeah, and she was in my DMs too.
Yeah, and when she blew up, I was like, oh, okay.
Wow. I was gonna say, I will say an artist I think who benefited from clips, and Auntie, shout out to Auntie. I made her wings recently. Is Boss Man D-Lo. And the way Tia Kemp's really, you know, how she just kept, you know, resurfacing the song in the background. Like, I kept seeing that clip and it was funny, but not even registering that, like, oh my God, I know the words to this song, like, every day now. So he definitely, I think, is an example.
And I want to say shout out BK Tidal Wave, because even though I knew about Doja Cat and I was aware of Doja Cat at that time, when she was out there doing, what was the song? Oh, what a time to be alive. And she kept doing those videos. Like, she really was promoting that song. And that was in the middle of the pandemic, where it was like, how else can you promote your music? And like, no bullshit, I think BK Tidal Wave did deserve, like, at least like a little shout out or something, because like she really was pushing that shit. Every time you saw her, she was singing it, and I don't know. My favorite, bring it up my hot bang. I was like, what, BK, what are you doing?
Shout out to BK Tidal Wave, man. R.I.P. R.I.P. man.
The best thing for me to do is the hint. No.
Damn. Unfortunately, I think that is actually the perfect transition into what we're going to get into next, as far as all the people that we've lost this last week.
Lost ones. You know that Jay-Z song?
I was trying to figure out if that was the one you was going for, but so I was trying to catch on, but I was like, okay, I think
that's the one. That's the one. But yeah.
But yes, it's been a pretty chaotic, I would say, 2 weeks in Black music. I specify Black music because yes, they touched music across the board, but like, these are ours. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I say like they are ours, like they belong to us. But I guess we would start with Roberta was the first, right? Roberta Flack. She was the first one of the 4. If you don't know who Roberta Flack is, she is a legendary singer from the 70s. She actually got her start when she was going to Howard University. And she really wanted to be like a classically like trained musician, kind of like Nina Simone. And when she got out into, you know, the world and she came to New York, she had to kind of find her sound. And she's written some of the most iconic songs, not just in R&B, but just in, I think, in music history, in my opinion. She's been sampled by literally almost everyone and anyone you can think of. You have Killing Me Softly. You have, damn, I can't think of the name of it. Oh, That's the Time I Feel Like Making Love.
Oh,
like,
I love that song so much.
That song was sampled by a Tribe, I think a Tribe Called Quest sampled that song. Of course, you have the Fugees who sampled that. You have the work that she did with Donny Hathaway. And the relationship that they had together, one of the greatest, in my opinion, musical partnerships that has ever come together. They have songs like Back Together Again, The World. It's like a very funky song and I love it. We have The Closer I Get to You. Duh, like that's a fucking classic. The Closer I Get to You. I always think of Rush Hour. Was that 3? When they were singing it over and over again. I tried to tell myself, like Jackie, please. Like Jackie, please. This is what I mean when I say Roberta Flack's influence is just everywhere. The first time ever I saw you, which is like to me one of the most beautiful like songs. What else?
She has over 236 people have sampled her records and 478 covers of people that have covered her music.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's influence. That's legacy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And across the board, hip hop, R&B, pop, you name it.
Yes.
She's been referenced, she's been sampled. One of my favorite fun facts about her is that if you ever watch Michael Jackson's Bad, like the long version, like the 30-minute or whatever version, there's a scene where he goes home and he like reads a note that his mom left him. The voice of the woman of his mom is Roberta Flack. So that's like one of my favorite fun facts.
She's also a Grammy Award winner as well for Killing Me Softly, Best Pop Vocal Performance, and Feel Like Making Love Record of the Year nominated.
And I think she's the first Black woman to win Record of the Year back-to-back.
Wow. That's amazing.
It is. I think it's just so unfortunate, though, like, with her and other artists of her caliber, like, we always get these fun facts or, like, the appreciation after the fact.
You're right.
And it's like, and that's not to discredit her legacy or anything, because I feel like from the artist community, we know what her legacy meant to music. But it's like, you don't see her as part of these conversations or artists like her until they're gone. And then it's like, oh my God, all this stuff that they did. And I just hate that that's the reality every time somebody passes.
Yeah. It's like you get your flowers after the fact versus getting them while you can still smell them.
And you know what's so crazy was that, like, I think Joe Budden and them were like saying that like her version of Killing Me Softly was like trash or something, like literally 2 weeks before she passed away. And it's just like, yeah, this is kind of the point.
Insane.
Yeah, you fucking snapping turtle looking ass nigga. Like, this is a problem. And granted, everybody make jokes, whatever the case may be, and everybody's entitled to their opinion because hey, if that's how you really felt, that's how you felt. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you kind of you probably killed her because you just are a fucking fucked up nigga for saying that shit. Like, why would you say that? I will say,
exactly to that point, one thing. So I started this this session series with Pandora called The Lab, and one of the challenges that I present to everybody that comes is to speak about the music that you don't necessarily like that you're hearing from other artists in like a productive way. So maybe it's not this music is good or I like this about it, but maybe you're finding a way to say I don't like this, but how can you make it better? Or what is it that you didn't like, right? Like I think we get in these spaces as execs or media personalities and like the language around the music is just, it's trash or it's fire.
Right.
I really challenge all of us to find a more productive way to talk about the music. Because I just feel like saying something is trash is just like, okay, that's it.
Right. It's kind of vague, like not that productive. Yeah. But
then it's disrespectful. It's fucking Roberta Flack. Like you can't find a better way to describe her music.
It's not constructive.
Yeah.
Right. It's not constructive criticism. Yeah.
I would just go say, I love how Jan just kind of low-key slid in this launch. Like, first of all, for the people that don't know, can you literally, just give context to the lab? Because I think it's phenomenal. And I think
thank you.
What you're doing at Pandora, which I can get into later, but I just think it's really impactful.
I appreciate that. So it actually came from literally just some nigga babble on Twitter. I was trying to brainstorm. So basically they asked us to come into the office 3 times a week. So for people who don't know, I don't live anywhere near the New York office. So for me, that's like, it becomes a thing. Like, all right, if I'm coming to the office, like, what am I going to do to use this time wisely? For even further context, a lot of my job requires a lot of listening. Like I need to be in a space where I can just listen to music. And it's kind of hard. It's hard to do that at the office because we don't have like dedicated offices. So with that in mind, I'm just like, damn, well, how can I use this time so that I'm not just sitting at the office bored? And I came up with this idea, like, so what if I created this space where artists can share their music with other artists and talk to each other about how they feel about the music that they're hearing, as well as get criticism from the people like us, curators who are programming this stuff as far as like whether we like it, what they could do better, etc. The tweet did its rounds, which I didn't expect because it was just like, if I did this, would y'all be interested? And of course, a lot of people were. So I essentially just created a space where we can have meaningful dialogue about the music that they're creating, and it doesn't have to necessarily be music that's already out. They, like, a lot of the artists that we had pull up played us unreleased music, which also was very timely because a lot of them had music releasing within 2 weeks of the session that we did. So it was like, well, we could hear it here, and then that turned into music that we programmed. So it's really just a community building effort. I don't want to share too many details, only because I do want to keep it very exclusive. So there was like a lot of intent that went into curating that space. Like we weren't doing any video content, no photos allowed, like none of that shit. It pull up.
I like that shit.
Yeah, because I don't want it to be this thing where it's like, oh, this is a content capture opportunity. Like, no,
right.
it's not. Because we have enough of that, So it's like, if you want to do that, then go to all of the different panel discussions. You can do that there.
No, right. And to that, I'm so happy you brought that up, because one of the things I love about it is I feel like it's bringing back that kind of essence, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, of like, I feel like artists back in the day used to enjoy going up to the label or the radio to promote their music versus just sending it to the homie or posting it online. So, so the fact that this generation has a model or, like something or somewhere where they can build community in person and still connect with, someone like yourself that's a music exec and just, like knows so much about the culture. I just think that's dope. And I think that it's stuff like this that's going to continue to inspire more music executives that understand it's more to do behind the scenes than just, like marketing or A&R publicity. It's like you can, program and launch your own shit.
Yeah. And to be honest, that's a lot of that is where this kind of came from too, right? Because full transparency, they don't really give us a budget for much. And then many might not know, but we just did the second round of layoffs in 3 months already. Yeah. So it's like, you kind of got to find ways to build the things that you want to see in a meaningful way and without a budget. And I feel like I told a lot of people I was really uninspired last year, the year before. And I had to really think about like what made me passionate about this work when I first started. And for those who don't know, I used to run with this company called Dinnerland, and we used to host a lot of events in New York. And essentially what we were doing was community building. Like we were doing events with a lot of these execs that were not execs at the time. Like, these were people who were just trying to build their careers, and now they're DJ Miss Milan, they're Harlem, like there's so many different people who we built with. Nikki Chulo, like these people came to our events and they weren't who they are now yet. And we community build at that point. So now it's like, I wanted to get back to that. And I feel like that's really what this session series means to me. It's like getting back to the roots of who I am to create something meaningful for the music space.
I love that. And that's definitely important and true community work. So shout out to you, Jan. Round of applause, baby. Make that ass clap.
But yes, shout out Roberta Flack. Today was actually, well, by the time you guys hear this, but Monday was her funeral, and Lauryn Hill sung at her funeral. So if that doesn't speak to legacy and influence, I don't know what does. From Roberta Flack, then I think a day or two later, we lost another like soul. First of all, she goes beyond soul because she's also in hip hop history.
Yes.
But we lost Angie Stone, I think like a day or two after Roberta Flack.
Yes.
That was extremely sudden and extremely tragic. Our thoughts and prayers definitely go out to her children, her whole family. I think her services are this weekend coming up. I think she has one in Georgia, and then she's going to be buried in her home of South Carolina. That's where she's from. But for those of you who don't know much about Angie Stone, she started out in the 70s or early 80s in a hip hop group called The Sequence. They were the second act signed to Sugar Hill Records, which is considered like the first real record label of hip hop under Sylvia Robinson. So she's a part of hip hop history. Like, It was her and her two other members. But we're going to shout out The Sequence right now. But yes, Angie Stone was a part of that group under the name Angie B. And then after that, she did go into some writing. She worked on D'Angelo's debut album as a writer. Of course, they had their relationship together. And then from there, she released her own music, and she went into what we consider now to be neo soul. She has albums like Black Diamond, which was like a classic in my household. I know my mother used to play My Sunshine. My sunshine. But yes, you have no I'm a sing for Angie, okay? So we have like No More Rain in This Cloud, which is a classic. We have Wish I Didn't Miss You Anymore, which to me it's Swizz Beatz' best production in my opinion.
Interesting.
You know what's so crazy? I'm so glad you even brought up that because I did not even know Swizz Beatz produced that. That is phenomenal.
When he did that versus, and well, I knew before that, but I was wondering if he was going to bring it up because some producers got hits where it's like they might even know you did that. Mm-hmm. So when he brought it up in the verses and everybody lost their mind, I was like, nigga, you produced that. I was so happy for Swizz because I think it's like so underrated in his production because it sounds like nothing that Swizz produced at that time.
At all. That's why I was very shocked that you even said that he did that because I'm like, what? That's phenomenal. I love that. I'm about to go watch that verses again after this.
That was fire. And then of course we have the song for my strong black brothers.
My black brother, strong brother.
Now, in hindsight, it's a couple of you niggas.
I'm crying.
Go to sleep for a government. Y'all don't need to be. That song was not dedicated for y'all, okay? Some of y'all just wasn't there. But
not for all the brothers.
It wasn't for all the brothers.
Certainly not.
And you know what's crazy? Because on Twitter, niggas like to come out the woodwork talking about, Angie, shout out to Angie Stone, the only one that was really representation of uplifting the black man. And like,
oh
bitch,
my goodness,
she was not uplifting your black ass.
Yeah, nah. You wasn't on the list when Angie was like giving the brother card out. You wasn't getting it.
The brother card is crazy.
I'm just saying. That might be the name of the episode, brother card. But yes, Angie Stone is a legend in our world of neo soul and R&B and hip hop.
Yes.
So to lose her so suddenly and so tragically, I mean, that was just heartbreaking. So our thoughts and prayers definitely go out to her.
I think right after her son's birthday too. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, the next day.
She was actually coming from doing a show in Alabama, I believe. She was scheduled to perform in the next city. So just her being en route to doing the next show really, really broke my heart because I literally was like at the hair salon and I cried in the damn chair because I'm like, this is, so crazy considering that, me being an artist myself as well and doing the traveling that you do. It's like, shit, doing what you love and not being able to come back home and dying as tragically as she did, like you said, Kia, was really, really like, it touched my heart in a place that I could not hold back the tears. I had to just give her, my emotion behind that because that was super, super sad. And just to know that, she posted about where she was going to be at and like interacting with her fans and then seeing people post the videos of her very last, like I always feel like that's an eerie feeling to see somebody's last tweet or the last hours that they actually were alive and people were like, you know what I'm saying? Just posting videos of her performance. Like, I can't believe that she was literally just here performing for us and now she's gone. So it's just a testament to like really being grateful to be able to do what you love, but also being able to come back home safely in one piece. So
I will say though, on the bright side, one thing that because it's happened a couple times recently where some of these people who are passing away, they're passing away during times where they are still actively thriving in their careers and performing and doing what they love. And I feel like that's also very beautiful. I feel like a lot of us, we get into this music space and we get burned out of it. And then it's kind of just like we let our careers fade on and we move on to other things. So to be able to spend your last days still being an artist and still performing and still doing what you love, I think that's the beauty in everything that happened. Just if we have to see a silver lining. So I'm happy that she was still performing.
Yeah. Because I think of like Fat Man Scoop.
Yes. That's exactly what I thought of. Both of them. Yep.
I also think too with Angie Stone, like she was so multi-talented. Like people forget, like she was acting too. Like she was in the Fight and Temptation. She was in reality TV. She did R&B Divas at one point.
What a show!
That is a good show, y'all.
So, our girl was out here.
Yeah, she definitely was. So RIP Angie Stone, and hopefully, her family could definitely have some form of comfort in mourning her, if that makes sense, with all of the greatness that she did leave in this world. So
yes. So then we lost, oh my gosh, this is so heavy. everything feels heavy. I don't like that we're losing so many Black legends. Like, these aren't just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to just lose any like musician, like anybody, but like these are like pillars we're losing. So this is like really like
the foundation of shit. Like what happens now? But yeah.
Staples.
Because then literally, I think a day or two after Angie, we lost Roy Ayers, who many consider the godfather of jazz funk or even the godfather of neo soul. I mean, we could do a whole pod just about Roy Ayers, but
that's a fact.
Of course, there's Everybody Loves the Sunshine. There's Searching. There's We Live in Brooklyn, baby. Like, Love Will Bring Us Together. He even like co-wrote and produced You Can't Turn Me Away. And if you don't know that song, it is the sample on Get Money. Get Money. So yes, his impact and his touch is everywhere in music. I believe they said he's literally one of the most sampled artists of all time. Tyler, the Creator, of course, has sampled him and spoken so much about his impact. Like I said, he produced and wrote the song Can't Turn Me Away, which was sampled on Junior Mafia's Get Money. Life Is What You Make It by Nas, Bonita Applebum by Tribe Called Quest. Searching, Pete Rock and CL Smooth, Diggable Planets, My Life by Mary J. Blige. Hello. There's like, the list can go on and on of just the influence and impact that he has had in music through the sampling, through the features, through working with different artists. Yeah, I don't know who else wants to hop in, but
I was gonna say, speaking of My Life that samples that, I implore you all to dig on TikTok and find the performance by North Carolina A&T. The marching band did a cover. I just shared it on Twitter. They did a cover.
I was just about to say you shared it too.
Man, that probably is one of the best band performances I've seen in so long. Like, when I played the video, I could feel that shit all throughout my spirit. Like, that shit felt so good. This shit brought me to tears. So yeah, definitely check that out if y'all haven't. It's essentially an arrangement of the Everybody Loves the Sunshine blended with My Life, Mary J. Blige, which samples that. So it's such a good cover. Rest in peace.
And also in movies, you can't forget, every time you hear a certain
literally that or a show,
you knew it was gonna be a great Black ass movie.
Facts.
Anytime you heard that shit. Like, that's where the trailer came in. You like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this shit.
Okay. You saw the lead actor and actress.
Yes. Yep. There go Morris right there. Okay. We got, okay. You know what I'm saying? It was greatness. You knew you were gonna get something good when you heard his songs and, movies and stuff like that.
What I will say though, we haven't started the tributes yet. So before y'all start the tributes, Kia is available for hire.
Okay.
I'm just saying, BET gonna have to end up using their whole budget for tributes, because at this point we keep losing people every day.
Yeah, but he's one of them ones we don't need a bad tribute for him. Okay?
No, he gotta have the best.
So
y'all
gotta have.
You know what I would love, just off the top of my head? A jazz band playing with different rappers rapping over his beats.
Oh.
And have different rappers from different generations.
Oh.
And have Q-Tip be the musical director.
I like that. I like that.
And that's just off the top of my head. I promise you, that's just off the top of my head.
No more free ideas.
Sam, we can't give them out no more. My management told me I can't give them out no more. Sorry, guys.
Nah, y'all gonna have to pay for that. For real, though.
Not y'all being like, no facts. No.
Cause they be listening.
Okay. I don't act like they don't, because they certainly do.
Oh my God. I don't want them.
Kia, there's bookmarks on the Quincy Jones tweet. Let's not.
Okay. Okay. Let's not.
Right. Let's not act like niggas is not listening.
Don't make me do the voodoo on you bitches. You bitches.
That's funny.
But let's get to our final passing, because this is type heavy. But I got my candles lit on my altar, so the ancestors are here. But lastly, we lost D'wayne Wiggins of Tony. If you don't know who D'wayne Wiggins is, he is the brother of Raphael Sadiq. He sang vocals as well as guitar, played guitar in Tony. I mean, if I get to listing some names for Tony, I mean, it never rains in Southern California. And then you have Anniversary. We got It Feels Good. A classic. Let's Get Down. DJ Quick. Yes. Like, that's like like one of the flyest songs ever. If you really want to feel like you in your I'm Fly bag, I'm telling you, listen to DJ Quick. Like, that song specifically though, that song is it. Lay Your Head on My Pillow. Like, I mean, whatever you want.
My pillow.
Classic.
Whatever you want.
Yes, that one. Woo! I was waiting for you to get to that one.
But yeah, absolute legends. But what I really want to highlight with D'wayne, outside of his work with Tony, is his mentorship.
Woo!
This guy literally took Destiny's Child under his wings, and he signed them to his company, which was Grassroots Entertainment. He got them their first distribution deal with Columbia, which, if you know, Beyonce still does business with Columbia to this day.
Yes.
So the fact that he put her in a position where she's still winning, Miss Tina Knowles, she spoke about, just how he trained them, the vocal production. He produced my favorite song off their debut album, which is Second Nature. Even if you listen to their debut album, they talked about how much neo soul influence it had. And then realizing that he was their mentor and he was the one that took them under his wings and taught them everything. Like, that made that project just so much more doper in my eyes. And it made me really appreciate, I think, and this is a total other conversation, but I think we kind of don't even realize the amount of influence Beyonce has in her. Like, spending time out in Oakland, spending time with, D'wayne Wiggins. Also, I saw this clip recently of her in a club in Houston in 2004, and it was like Robert Glasper and Bilal and all of them on stage singing. And she's just riffing and doing jazz notes, and you can tell she's uncomfortable, but she's getting comfortable. And it's just so beautiful seeing her in different musical environments and how that all inspired her. Also, D'wayne took Kalani under his wings before she was a big star. I mean, the list goes on and on. He's an Oakland legend. And I just want to thank him for his work, thank him for his contributions. And to all four of you, best wishes on your spiritual journeys. And we will continue to speak your name.
Amen. I also wanted to say, too, just a little fun fact. There's a clip that's circulating with the Beyonce D'wayne story where I guess they're doing, because I don't think it ever came out, they're singing over the Say It Again Girl sample by the Isley Brothers. And I think what's so dope is during the promo run for Renaissance, Beyonce actually did end up doing a cover of Say It Again Girl with the Isley Brothers. And it sounds literally like she was there in studio with them recording the original. It should have sounds so fire. So if y'all haven't heard that, definitely check that out too.
It's the song that she had put out with him, right?
Yeah, Say It Again Girl.
Yeah.
I think they got nominated for a Grammy off that too.
It's so good. She sounds so good on that track with them. Damn, man, she was supposed to be on this.
Anything happened to the Isleys, I'm gonna hide in a rock for weeks.
I'm telling y'all right now, if y'all think about touching Stevie,
okay, oh my God, everybody gotta die.
Oh shit!
God damn! Hold on, because I was with you, but hold on.
Nah, but you know what? Go ahead.
I might shoot up the spot behind Janet. I might clear the spot. I ain't going
behind Jamie.
Janet.
Oh, I was gonna say
Janet.
Janet.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're clearing the spot.
I was about to say Jamie Foxx, really?
Right, that sounds like over Stevie.
Oh my God,
I get it, but
you're terrible.
Said the spot behind Jamie. You're not gonna leave your man for him?
No disrespect. I guess. I'm sorry, God.
No disrespect. No disrespect.
But you gonna leave that man for him?
I think as we are seeing time progress, that's the downfall of life, is that what was once born eventually has to die, And for me, I just always think about, not that there could ever be a duplicate. There can never be another Stevie. There can never be another Michael. There can never be another anything of our legends, if you want to be quite frank. But I think it makes me a little sad to know that they are leaving and there's really not enough of anybody to continue to at least hold that torch, if that makes sense. I feel like we really grew up in such a important era of music where we literally witness our greats create the greatness that we are literally experiencing now. And the fact that we may not get to have that, at least in a different version again, kind of makes me sad for music. You know what I'm saying? Because who are the next pillars of music to hold this torch? And I believe we've had this conversation on Spaces before, but the reality is our legends are dying. You know what I'm saying? They are at least grateful enough that they are at an age where they've lived to do the amazing things and be the legends that they are. But it still saddens me that, you know, their legacy is something that we truly have to hold on to, but we don't have enough people that can carry the torch for them, if that makes sense. So that's just
and I think that's on all sides of it too, right? Like I had a conversation with somebody about so essentially he asked me what I wanted to do with my career, and I told him I wanted to model it after a Clarence Avant, and his response essentially was just like, I honestly feel like it would be impossible for you to do that because we don't live in an era where you would be able to make impact trying to do all the different things and all the different avenues that a Clarence Avant was able to do at that time, because there was just less going on in the space, less people in the space, less noise in the space, if that makes sense. So I think that a conversation needs to be had too about just like, can we even have people today essentially do what some of these legendary people were able to do during the times that they did it? Because we're just not in the same space anymore. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
It's very slim pickings for me. I'm not gonna hold you.
I think like I agree the times have changed. Like if you think about what Clarence Avant was fighting up against, it was more equity, more space for Black people. And so in that capacity, I do understand what your friend was saying, but also I feel like what he represented, you still need that.
I agree with that.
Someone that holds everyone together, someone that, I think about people when they reach the like peak of their career, when they really start to like the opportunities are flowing and the cameras are in their face and it could be overwhelming, and you still need a person you can go to that's like, don't do that, go in this direction, don't do that. Like even Jamie Foxx, I know we were joking about him, but he said like when he was getting, when he was going up for Ray and the Oscars and stuff, like Sidney Poitier called him and was like, hey, you need to make the right decisions with the roles that you take, with what you do. You still need those type of people. So I think it's just about catering to the needs of this generation and the generation coming. That's really it.
I love that you said that. I appreciate that perspective.
Yeah. You're still about to say that's a little down. Like the fuck you talking about? I'm here for a reason.
I literally was gonna say that. I'm glad you said that, because when I had the conversation, I was a little disheartened. Like, damn, that's how you feel? Okay, well,
that's a little haterish, little haterating your drink.
Like we all have like aspirations or somebody that we want to like, not necessarily copy, but just like we like the blueprint that they kind of set, and you want to keep that moving forward, but all it is just, okay, this is a new generation. How can I approach it with them? How can I do it with them? That's it.
Yes, I agree. It's kind of what I was saying earlier about like how music consumption is changed. It's like they're still consuming music. It just looks different. Like,
yes,
that's kind of in the same vein what's happening here. It's like, I feel like the idea of like celebrity has even changed a bit too. But
even that, right? Like, not to cut you off, but you look at what's happening with Doechii, and
I was just about to say that.
And I hate to keep bringing her up, but like she's the perfect example of, you just got to be one of them ones, because we talk about the idea of celebrity dying, but then you see everything that's happening around her. It's like, is it really dying, or y'all just not really them ones?
Facts. I agree. I think it's the same with even people like, even in film, like what's her name, like Gina Artiga. Like I remember when like the show like Wednesday popped off, like the way Hollywood like put themselves around her, and now you see her everywhere. It's like she's that girl that they're looking up to. Even what's the guy's name, Timothy, the one that was up for the
Timothy Chalamet.
I really like him. I really like this
and he's
guy.
telling these niggas, I want my Oscar.
Okay. He said, I'm in the same vein. I want to be like Viola Davis. Okay. Like
that's what he said. That's what the boy said.
I like
that's
that
what
guy.
He said. Boy said.
But I just think, like it's individuals like them who I agree with Jan, is just like the celebrity. You just gotta be one of them ones. It ain't, it's in you, ain't on you,
Right.
Okay, it's in you. It ain't on you. But no, that's a true statement to say. Is sometimes I think because of how we do consume things too, we've put, so back in the day, right? The fans never made celebrities, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They had to already come in a sense of, because of artist development, all of those different things. Like we saw the growth of celebrity. So it wasn't like a celebrity came out the gate being super famous right away. You know what I'm saying? I always use the example, of course, of like a Destiny's Child and, you know, the transitioning from, you know, Beyonce being a part of the group to her doing her solo thing. It's like, if you were a fan of hers, you've seen them from their very first rise to the superstar that she is now. Same thing you could say with Michael Jackson. I mean, still a little bit past our time, but I could understand, you know, following their journey in that sense where we have such a instant gratification in a microwave era where it's like you have a viral clip of a song. It's not even a whole song and people like it that much. They're going to push you to the next level and create the celebrity for you before you even have to go through the actual work of doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like to see organic roots like my good sis Doechii, you know, and don't be afraid to ever use her as an example, y'all. I be afraid to say her name sometimes because I'm like, y'all gonna think I'm being biased. but it's the truth. It's literally the truth to see her from making her YouTube content to the hole in the wall spots where people are now pulling up videos like, oh shit, I didn't realize this was her performing back then. And it's like, yeah, because she was actually developing. And then her being signed to her label for the past 2 years before anything even blew up. Like, you guys were making TikToks to certain of her songs and didn't even know it was her. So it was like the work has always been there. And now she's just really getting the flowers that she honestly deserves, to the point where, you know, getting the industry plant allegations and the Illuminati allegations, which I feel like you made it at that point in time.
And let me just say too, even speaking as a former employee of UMG, like, cause people love to do this industry plant shit. And I can honestly say, like, no, that was hard work. Like, I remember having to help pump out those records in 2022, rather if it was through playlisting, streaming, etc. So the whole industry plant shit with Doechii really grinds my gears. And again, like, we can go on and on about the chemistry, you know, Milan, you guys have with each other. But again, it's something that hasn't been seen in a long time. And I think sometimes, like, moments like this, they low-key frightens people when they shouldn't be frightened. You should be continue to uplift and be happy that a moment like this is happening. But I don't know. We can get into it later, you know.
Wow. Major success.
But while we are here, though, I do want to say that, you know, Milan tried to play it cool earlier.
Okay.
I was
right.
in Paris.
Like, I'm trying not to go there, but are we going there?
Paris, and, you know, I just happened to go to the Louvre, you know. I just so happened to be there. But no, our girl,
fuck you, Kia.
Say, our girl Milan, she performed at the Louvre. So I don't give a fuck what none of you bitches say, because it's really her and Beyonce, like, period. Did you perform at the Louvre? No. Okay, well then shut up.
You bitches can't even spell Louvre.
Can't pronounce it either. The Louvre? The Louvre?
We are the Louvre.
The Louvre.
No, it's the Louvre. It's the Louvre now. The fuck? Who's at the Louvre? What fuck niggas talk about? But yes, our good sis was there. First of all, I mean, that's just iconic in itself. Like I said, you bitches shouldn't call yourself DJs because you've never DJ'd at the Louvre. But no, that was just so dope to just see that. Like, damn, that's really fire. Like, the Mona Lisa is inside, bitch. Like, that's crazy.
She's looking right at us.
She's looking right at me.
Miss Mama Mona Lisa, yeah.
That was extremely fire. But then from that to have this, like, really, like, passing of a torch moment of you and Doechii with fucking Lauryn Hill, you know, Jersey legend. I don't know. Do you want to speak on that from your perspective?
I think I can. You know, I was there. So yeah. No, but first of all, thank you, sisters. I appreciate y'all very much for always giving me my flowers. Even when I try to hide from them, you guys never cease to let me forget. But it was such a phenomenal moment, guys. Like, I can't even put into real words how, number one, important that was for Doechii. Her being a Black woman, specifically a dark-skinned woman, in the space that she's in, and seeing somebody that looks exactly like her do and go through the things that she honestly, you know, is experiencing now as an artist. And for her to just be embraced by Miss Lauryn Hill, you know, like, she's literally thriving off of the miseducation of Lauryn Hill still to this day. You know what I'm saying? Phenomenal body of work. Despite what anybody has any kind of negative things to say about it, that shit don't matter. You clearly not listening to the project if you have anything negative to say about that body of work. And it's honestly a testament to her true artistry and who she is, because I seen Doechii and Miss Lauryn Hill, and that's how, you know, I got major respect for her, because I'm saying Miss Lauryn Hill, Miss Lauryn Hill. But just from the rehearsal standpoint and just her being not a diva, more than an icon, she's a word that I can't even describe right now. Her presence is just so powerful. Her words are so captivating. Just her being is something that you would literally have to be in her presence to honestly experience and truly feel from her. And being in the same room as her and just the love and the embrace that she gave to Doechii, I literally cried tears in the rehearsal. And she was like rehearsing and pointing at me, like smiling at me, crying and shit like that. And I'm just like, I can't believe that I'm here witnessing a moment that I'm super grateful to be a part of, you know. But this moment is really about Doechii and the passing of the torch in that, because let's be honest, Miss Lauryn Hill don't have nobody coming on stage with her and sharing that stage if it's not Wyclef Jean. If you want to be real, or her sons, you know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody touching that stage with her. So for her to bring out Doechii during her set and to say, hey, sis, I'm going to let you get your shit off too. You know what I'm saying? And her being in the same category as the only women to win rap album, being a part of that legacy, it was just phenomenal to me. And I say this with all gratitude, like no funny shit. Like that, to me, I know it was super life-changing for Doechii, but it was surely life-changing for me as well to be on that same stage with, I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. Aww. I didn't want to cry. That's why I didn't want to talk about
it. It's okay to cry.
It is, but I'm just happy for her. I'm proud of her. I'm proud of us to be Black women doing this shit, facing adversity, the naysayers, people that always got something to say, but still pushing through with that and just doing it our way. You know, this is the type of shit that really only happens once in a lifetime, I really believe. You only come across a Doechii, a Lauryn Hill, a Beyonce, a Michael, a Stevie. You only come across artists like this truly once in a lifetime. So for me to be a witness to that and then also be a part of that made me feel good. Like to hear Doechii say the hardest fucking DJ in the game and Miss Lauryn Hill looking at both of us do our performance, it's like, wow, God, like I'm having that Beyonce moment where she's like, wow, God, like, why did you choose me? Why did you pick me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate being a bitch, but it's one of those things where is greatness to witness. And I'm just happy to be a part of it, man. So shout out to Ms. Lauryn Hill for allowing Doechii to even grace the stage with her and perform doo-wop with her, like a legendary fucking song. You know what I'm saying? And just embrace her as an artist who sees another artist, a person who sees another person, and just truly took her up under the wing and said, I got you. You know what I mean? Like, that's a powerful fucking moment, because we know Miss Lauryn Hill don't fuck with nobody.
Okay.
You know, she has her, you know, moments and stuff like that of who she, you know, gives credit to, whatever the case may be. But I felt on a spiritual level that was different. That was severely different. And I really want to debunk some things here, because I know a lot of y'all have a lot of negative things about Miss Lauryn Hill being late and shit like that. I want y'all to really hold y'all titties and y'all pussies tight, because she can be fucking late. That's Miss fucking Lauryn Hill. You understand? And I'm going to say this as well. She's not late because of her own personal things. She has a whole entire group of production people, things that are moving parts around her. So it's very much so, it's not only her that she has to worry about. It's a whole team that she honestly has to worry about. And I've seen it firsthand for myself to see why she may be, you know, a little late. It's definitely not no diva shit, y'all. It's truly just her having the team around her, trying to get all these moving parts together to give you guys a legendary show the way how she does. But I say all that to say I'm grateful to be a part of it. I'm grateful to be a part of history and that moment being solidified within my personal career to say not only did I perform in Paris where the fucking Mona Lisa is, to be a Grammy award winning DJ, also being a part of a performance with Miss Lauryn Hill on the same stage as her. Like that's a testimony in itself to keep really achieving your dreams and never stopping, like never fucking stopping, because you just never know where your dreams are going to take you. And I'm the testimony to that. So, yeah.
I also want to just add to, like, I feel like it's not, like, it doesn't go unnoticed that all of that happened at the same exact moment where Doechii was facing so much backlash because of her comments. Yep. I just feel like, to me, that was such a sign that, like, this internet shit do not fucking matter.
It don't. Like, it don't.
Because if you're really, like, if you really are making an impact and you really doing the work and you really are, or like you are destined to be here, shit is gonna fall in line for you regardless of what niggas is saying online. Like,
okay,
it is, and it's like that's why I always say, like, outside and the internet are two totally different things, but it comes with the territory, and whatever good happens, you gotta not expect bad and like a pessimistic kind of mindset, but it's like just understand there's ebbs and there's flows of things. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta be prepared and ready to handle whatever honestly comes towards you. So people being upset over her joking comments, number one, niggas, it's like, damn, now niggas care about preference. Whoa. Whoa, we ain't say nothing about y'all liking white girls and wanting light-skinned babies and all this other shit. We ain't say nothing about that, but cause she don't want straight men to date, she would have thought she said kill all niggas.
Okay.
Speaking of babies, I am happy you mentioned that, like, Lauryn don't go on stage with nobody unless it's Wyclef or her kids, because it's a clip online where Miss Lauryn Hill is literally like watching you and Doechii during the Now Is a River performance, and she literally looks like a proud parent. Like, it really reminds me of, like, no, it brought tears to my eyes as a woman of hip hop. Even if, you know, I didn't know you or considered you a sister or like wanted to really like give you your flower for this moment, it's like that was a dope thing to see. It took me back to like Chaining days, and it made me think, like, you know, does Gen Z even, or not even just Gen Z, but like our generation and culture as the collective as a whole right now, like, do we still honor that essence? Like, I remember, you know, how niggas felt to get a Rockefeller chain. Like, that was one of the reasons why I wanted to rock Nation.
I ain't gonna lie, I still wanted a Rockefeller chain though.
You know, like, and I think even the most recent torch passing I feel like we've, you know, seen was, you know, like with Kendrick and Snoop and them. So I don't know. I just feel like we haven't seen it at this scale, this level. Like, yes, we've seen the cosigns. Like, we've seen, you know, Cardi do cosigns and features with other artists. Like, we definitely understand that hip hop, women in hip hop is in a space now where they don't have to rely on the huge boy band or boy label to get backing. They can rely on each other. However, seeing OGs, you know, women in hip hop, the first woman to win the best rap album on stage with the most recent woman to win best rap album, you don't get those moments without guys. So that's all I'm gonna say. So shout out to and shout out to hip hop, because I genuinely love this shit, and I love that Doechii is so for hip hop and not this like dismantling of the culture. Like, even it's like little things, like even her posting a picture of her in Paris and she's using a track like Jay-Z's Feeling It. Like, she could have used anything, but it's like, who, you know, it's the intentionality is superb.
It's there. No, because she, like I said, she is a student of the game. And I think that's the reason why, basically, like she said, if you against it, you the op. Point blank, period. There's no other way to describe it. If you against anything that has the essence of hip hop, if you hate boom bap, if you hate rap, if you hate any of this shit, but you capitalize off of this shit, you the motherfucking op. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the thing that is making her win so much, is her being so authentic and true to herself and not giving a fuck about what people have to say. And that's the only way you truly make noise. You don't make noise pleasing everybody. So even that comment of people running with that clip and trying to make something out of nothing, it's like, okay, and nigga, so what? Like, and it's funny because, you know, people were like, oh, she's isolating, you know, her biggest core fan base. I'm like, core fan base? You niggas have not listened to her music for real. But I always said too, this is just the highlight of misogyny in hip hop, because y'all wasn't paying attention to her before because she's always been on this type of time. But because she's produced something that you feel like you can relate to more now, you want to, you know, kind of put her in a box. And that's what I hate about the men in hip hop. It's like, when you fuck with something, it's like, oh, she's real. She not shaking ass. She not showing titties. She out here real rap raw. And it's like, shut the fuck up. She could shake ass, show titties, and still rap, and sing, and do pop, and do house, and do all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what they do to like artists like a Rhapsody or like a Tierra Whack. It's like, y'all try to put them in these boxes to accommodate what you feel and what you like. And it's like, you never give women the space to do whatever the fuck that they want to do. And there's a reason why y'all hate Megan so much, because Megan don't give a fuck about y'all niggas the way you want her to give a fuck about y'all niggas. No one over here is doing anything for the male attention. We're not trying to appease y'all niggas. You either gonna support us or not. But either way, we still gonna move. So that's just what it is.
But I think all of that is also why Lauryn Hill being the one who passed the torch was so important and impactful, just seeing it, because I feel like there's so many parallels between Lauryn's career and her character and Doechii's. So I don't think there would be a better person to pass the torch down to Doechii than a Lauryn Hill, because Lauryn was so anti-industry and just anti-doing shit that wasn't her way. And I feel like she got a lot of shit for that, but
she definitely
Lauryn Hill because of it. So it's like, I feel like I see a lot of that in Doechii, on top of the fact that the parallels of them both being dark-skinned, they're both rappers. Like, it's just so many different nuances to being able to compare them. So I just thought it was just such a beautiful moment seeing that, because it's just like, it felt like mom and daughter.
Yeah.
And not to mention, even like the fits. When I saw the fits, because the fits happened before the torch passed, I'm like, this look like some Lauryn Hill shit.
Yes, that's a fact.
Shout out to her stylist. No, that's definitely the inspiration they were going for when it came to that. Just it's like Lauryn is showing us love and she's showing Lauryn love back. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I love that.
That was dope to see. But congratulations, girl.
Thank you, guys. You guys made me cry on the second fucking episode. Wow. Wow, guys. You're doing a lot. But anyways. Yes, hip hop is in a great space despite what people like to talk and say. You know what they talk about? They ain't talking about nothing.
Okay.
Anyways, y'all. Talking about passing on torches, moving along to different things. What have you guys been dipping and dabbling in?
Is it setlist time?
Is it setlist time? I feel like it is setlist
I think so.
I love this time.
I guess I could go first. I actually did a lot of digging because I wanted to make this one a good one. But Marathon Burger is something, if y'all are in LA, definitely go tap in with Marathon Burger, which is Nipsey Hussle's restaurant. Black Sam finally opened it. It is on Melrose Avenue. It's open from 11 to 10 p.m. And apparently they have really, really good burgers. So definitely check that out. I've got into this album by this new group called Good Girl. It's alternative R&B. It's called Velvet Tapes Volume 1. I actually just stumbled upon it. I don't know. I was on just Pandora listening to shit and it kind of just came up. And then it sparked me to go into the whole project. And it's so good. Like, if you guys are fans of The Internet, Steve Lacy, Fouché, definitely in that lane.
Okay.
So it's a really good project. Speaking of Lauryn Hill, something I've been listening to for a couple weeks now has been the Unplugged #2 album. Crazy part is I've been listening to it more so for the interludes, not necessarily the actual music. And I thought it was like, it's very ironic that you shared that post yesterday with the clip of her talking about God. Because all throughout that Unplugged album, she's talking about God and her relationships and just like her relationship with God. And she just had a lot of really impactful shit on that album that I really did not listen to as intently as I have been recently. So I implore you guys to definitely just take a listen again a couple times, because a lot of that stuff hit home for me recently. And then two more things. There's an op-ed I've read, ironically, kind of about what we've been talking about the last two episodes, by this blog called Noah's Crash Out Corner. And the article,
Oh, that's a cute
I
name.
love the name. Yeah, it's so fire. But it's called Giving Flowers and the Dilemma of Artist Deaths. And he's essentially rambling, in his words, rambling about just his thoughts on the way that we engage with artists dying. So like on one end, he feels like we're not giving some of these artists enough of their flowers, like a Quincy Jones and the shitty ass tributes he's been getting. And then on the flip side, he's struggling with the idea of how so many people pop out the woodworks, more so like platforms, right? Like a Complex or um Double XL, where they're doing these massive articles about some of these artists' legacies who, when they were alive, they never showed love to. So one of the people he referenced was Ka, the rapper. And he was saying how a lot of these platforms showed mad love to him when he passed away, but like they essentially ghosted him his entire career. And he just was kind of talking about his struggle with like how do we find the balance between really giving these artists their flowers when they're alive and continuing to give them their flowers after they pass. So I thought it was a really cool article. Then lastly, not necessarily a brand new song, but it's a song that came out last month called Love is Gold by Gremlin, who I just recently had the opportunity to hang out with, talk with, see where his mom was at. He's pretty dope. But definitely check that out. And yeah, that's on my set list for the week.
Okay, that's a good ass set list, girl. Who else want to go? What's on y'all set list? I want to hear y'all's first before I say anything. Because I really got a lot.
Mine a little quick. I can go next. It's interesting because we was talking about it earlier, but TV shows. So just for context, a lot of my taste culture is a little bit inspired by my mother. Like I would see what she was watching, what she was listening to. And my mother actually got me hip to this show. She actually got me hip to the entire franchise, honey. Okay. And even as a young kid, I was tapped in. But as I've grown into an adult, I would arguably say like this show and this franchise in particular is the franchise in the house that built Bravo. And it's not the other way around. Like, I would never say that Bravo built this franchise, but the season premiere of Real Housewives of Atlanta, that is on my set list. So shout out. The girls just had their season premiere last night and they're doing this whole like revamp. They're trying to step into a new era. And just for context, like at one point in time, like Real Housewives of Atlanta was the most watched show in Bravo's history out of any programming they've ever done. And I would also, like argue too, just because of how culturally impactful Real Housewives has been, like it's literally a part of our, like meme culture now. You don't have a lot of like other reality shows without the impact and the success of that one. Like you don't really have a Love and Hip Hop Atlanta or a Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta or all these Atlanta based shows without the impact of the original like cast, the Nenes, the Phaedra, the Cynthia, Kenya's antics and Portia and things like that. So shout out to that whole show and franchise. Also too on my set list is Power Book 3 is back, Raising Kanan. I'm a huge fan of Patina Miller, her acting, and just that show in general. So that's on my set list. Also, too, I saw that the Pandora station, shout out to y'all launched the Mecca station, which is also really focused on, like Afro and dance hall. So that's on my set list. Yes, recently been listening to a lot of like DJ Spinall, like who signed to LVRN when they started, tapping into more Afro-based artists and things like that. So that's on my set list. And then to wrap it up, Issa Rae's article with Variety about Black TV and how we basically built these networks, but we don't have anything to show for it. I think it's a great article. And it's one of the reasons why I wanted to highlight Real Housewives of Atlanta, because I feel like sometimes when people think about shows like Real Housewives of Atlanta, or I'll even throw in Baddies, even though I don't watch Baddies, like I think sometimes like we come at it with this like negative lens, but we also don't really analyze or really understand like how culturally rich some of them, are. Like I said, I feel like meme culture doesn't exist without Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like how many clips of Nene do we see going around, or just conversations I have with my friends. Like I can say like one thing like bling, 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 and they know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, so
bitches is mad.
You know, exactly. So yeah, that's my set list for this week.
Okay. I gotta get back into the Housewives. I'm about to watch it after this. Kia, what's on your set list, sis?
So on my set list, so last week I told you guys that I was reading, that I'm currently reading Pam Grier's autobiography, Foxy, My Life in 3X. I always like tread lightly with like, I don't know, like revealing things, because I don't know, niggas be weird. But the real reason I'm reading the book is because I'm actually gonna do my first exhibit this year. And it's gonna be about Pam Grier. But it's going to
what kind of exhibit?
I can't really explain it, but it's kind of like, it's going to be interactive, but it's more so like, I really can't explain it. I'm so sorry.
Like you're
I really
doing
wish
it,
I could.
or you're going to?
No, I'm doing it. I'm going to do this.
Okay.
I'm putting it together.
That's said, didn't y'all say no free ideas?
I was about to say
but I'm just saying, like, I mean, I'm not telling y'all, but like, you know, like, well, not here, you know, on here, but like, yeah, it's my exhibit. I'm going to plan it. I'm going to put it together. I'm going to organize it, creative direct it. I'm going to house it somewhere. And it's going to be my exhibit, and it's going to be a tribute to Pam Grier, but it's going to be using her to kind of contextualize like the lens of like Black women in society over generations. So I just wanted to read her book because the whole exhibit is going to be a homage to her. And then on top of that, I grew up watching a lot of blaxploitation. Like I grew up like watching like Shaft and The Mac and Superfly and stuff like that. So I've just been dipping back into that bag, really trying to watch it from a different lens, because I think there is a point where the brand got cheapened and it kind of became like this like thing to laugh at, or it became almost like a Tyler Perry type of thing, when there's actually a lot of beauty in that whole like genre of film in the 70s. And even if it's not blaxploitation, just films like Five on the Black Hand Side, like a lot of these Black films that people have not heard of or have never seen, that are directed by these African American directors who were taking a chance. Like Five on the Black Hand Side is basically about this family where the daughter, or I think the son, is getting married to someone who has like African lineage, or they're more Afrocentric, and the other family is more like urban Black. And it's like this whole cultural dynamic thing that was happening at the time. There's so many of these films that like no one talks about, because when we talk about film, we're so focused on the Scorseses and the Coppolas and everyone else up there, which is great to study and look at. But I also want to make sure that those that I don't know, I'm also tapping into. So there's a YouTube channel called Be Real Black Film, or like basically it's a YouTube channel that has so many just archival Black TV shows, archival Black panels, archival Black commercials, archival Black film, just like anything from like the 50s on down to, I would say, the 90s. They literally have just an archive of all of this Black entertainment, literally. And it's just a treasure trove of like influence. So while I'm getting into film, yes, it's important for me to study like Italian cinema and all the rest of that great stuff, but I also want to make sure I know what the fuck is happening in my own culture and has happened. So there's a movie coming out this Friday called Opus. It is made by A24. The director is Mark Anthony Green, who also has a background in journalism. He was a music editor at GQ magazine. And essentially the film is about this journalist. I never know how to pronounce her last name, but it's Ayo. Y'all know her from The Bear. Y'all know exactly who the fuck I'm talking about. But Ayo, she plays the lead character. And essentially it's about this journalist who's I wouldn't say green, but she's at this point in her career where she feels like she's not getting enough opportunities as a young Black woman in the space. And her editor get invited to the compound of this musician who has been off the music scene for about 30 years. And it gets really weird. It's your average A24 horror movie, without giving too much away, because the film is not out yet. The artist that they're going to see on the compound, it's kind of modeled after like Kanye, but also very Michael Jackson, which I kind of had thoughts about because I thought it defeated the purpose of the movie. It was just a really interesting watch. I would implore you to go see it if you're into the A24 style of horror, like The Menu and other films like that. But I think the story that Mark is trying to get across, it doesn't really come across well from a journalist point of view. Like, I understood what he was trying to say about our industry, but it just didn't come across that way. But all in all, I think like where he's headed is a great start. This is his debut film. This is his debut
film.
But this is his debut movie. So everybody has a starting place, and I think it's a great starting place. That's the thing. I think it actually is a solid starting place. And the music is done by Nile Rodgers and The Dream. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh wow. Okay, that's dope.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be like basically, like I said, modeled after like this Michael Jackson Prince type musician. So it's like the music. I will say the music doesn't match the time. Like for them to be saying like his album was up there with Thriller and he was this hot in the 90s. I'm like, this doesn't sound like a song from the 90s. This sounds like a Nile Rodgers and The Dream song from 2025. But yeah, it's a cool movie. I think you guys should check it out if you like that type of stuff.
Okay, dope. I like that.
I would say too, before Milan, you start yours, because you shouted it out low key. The Menu, if y'all haven't seen that, definitely watch that too, because that shit is fire.
And to be honest with you, it's much better than
yeah, that movie is. I'm pretty sure I watched it twice.
It's called The Menu, and it's, to me, like, it gets across what Opus is trying to get across. Like, it's basically, like, The Menu is more so in the restaurant business, but it can apply to so many different industries. And Opus tries to do what The Menu does, but it's not as... Like, it's something about the writing and the pacing of The Menu, like, the timing of everything, how it all unfolds, the plot twist, everything. It's just, it works for The Menu. It doesn't work for Opus. But Menu is great. I second that.
So what you got, Milan?
I have to check them things out, y'all. Okay, so for me, I've been in my little pop white bag lately. I've been going through some old Calvin Harris records and shit like that. Because Calvin Harris, he had Summers on Smash for a little minute. Like, he was really making them pop hits. And I just was finding inspiration in that because that was really a time for me as well. Like, you know, just revisiting some old rock bands and things of that nature. So it really was in a Calvin Harris bag, listening to some of his older works and just seeing like, you know, I just want white people to get back to the essence of what they know is essence. You know what I'm saying? Give me the Farrah Fawcett hairstyles. Where are the white boy bands that's not trying to nigger it up? You know what I'm saying? You don't need braids or waves. Give us that Zach from Save the Bell flip of the hair. Get back to the guitar playing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want Alabama Barker to be doing rap. I want her ass to be on them drums. You know what I'm saying? Put away the lace fronts, bad baby. Let's get to the essence of Avril Lavigne and all that good shit. So that whole thing made me want to dive into like, you know, more white music and just seeing, you know, what we're missing. And I feel like that's what we're missing. Too many rappers, not enough rockers. Let's get back to it now. As far as TV and film, I've been still watching my show, The Lioness. Definitely gonna get into Paradise as we was talking about earlier. And now, thanks to you guys, I'm going to be watching The Menu to figure out what you guys are all talking about as well, too. I just been, you know, jet setting, traveling the world. So festivals, shows, and all of that, I'm a part of that. So there's nothing that I'm really interested in seeing except for what we did last time, which was performing with Miss Lauryn Hill, which was, you know, a monumental thing for me. But we have a few festivals coming up. I know one show that I am looking forward to is the Nike show. They're doing like a concert series in LA next month, I believe, or in June. But I'm looking forward to that just because it's something that Doechii's going to be headlining. And I love Nike. Like, shout out to the free shit. I'm going to try to get the pod some stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Hello, connection.
Are you guys doing Roots Picnic?
That I don't know. I have not. And I've seen a rumor going around. I don't know. Some chef girl been saying we're going to be at Dreamville.
I saw you tweet about that. You was like, we're going to be where now?
Some chef girl.
Yeah, she want to cook for us, which, you know, we don't mind. I would like to see pictures of your home.
That's crazy, some chef girl.
First before we eat any of your food, because you know safety is important. But yeah, she said that we was going to be at Dreamville Festival. I have no knowledge of that, honey. That's not on our calendar yet. Maybe, but it's not there yet. But other than that, I don't know if we're going to be doing Roots Picnic. I would like to do Roots Picnic, to be honest, if we can do that. That's one of my goal festivals to attend and also perform. So hopefully, you know, if it's not already on the list, maybe. But yeah, podcast, I'm not going to lie, y'all. I've been listening to our shit, Reasonable Dialogue, #1 podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. You know, it's critically acclaimed, got a lot of nominations coming up, you know, and all that other stuff. So I've been listening to us. I like us. I love us. So that's what I've been, you know, tuned into. But other than that, I've just been relaxing and enjoying the moments that are coming into, you know, my personal life and my career. And honestly, just showing up every recording day to record with you all for a new episode. And by the time this episode comes out, it will officially be my birthday. So happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
In advance, shout out to us Pisces gang. We have a lot of greats in this thing. So I'm grateful. I'm happy. And that's all I got for my set list, guys.
Yeah, thank you to everybody who listened to our podcast. Speaking of, like,
thanks.
We got a lot of support on the first episode, and I think I can speak for all of us when I say we are so grateful for everybody who pulled through, shared it, supported it, rated, commented, whatever. Like, and keep doing that, please. We really appreciate you all. Thank you guys so much.
Yes. Share it, comment, all of that.
Yes. And shout out to NYC, New York, Jersey, and Los Angeles for being
not regional
two cities, you know, where some of our listeners are streaming the most. So shout out to y'all.
Yo, New York in the house.
Hey, it's Brooklyn in the house. Check it out in the house. Okay.
Don't stop. Hey.
This is a Jersey household, so
New Jersey in the house.
You're like Central Jersey. Wait, are you like South Jersey or Central Jersey?
I'm Central Jersey, okay? Also, let's just make that clear for all the listeners out there who act like Central Jersey doesn't exist.
Do you guys
I guess you're in that category?
Because I feel like it's either north or south.
Girl, bye. Central Jersey is the thing, okay? You heard it here first. But yeah, man, thank you guys for listening. This is episode 2 of the podcast. Make sure y'all follow us on Twitter, Instagram. We also have a link tree now, so you can find all our shit there. But yeah, it's
Take me out.
Cool.
Crispy chicken, fresh lettuce, 3 cheeses, French dressing wrapped up in a tasty flour. This is where you can cut it. Yo, what up? It's Chasing Kia.
It's DJ Miss Milan.
And it's Yasmin. We want to thank you for tuning into the Reasonable Dialogue podcast. For more updates and to follow us on social media, be sure to go to our website, reasonabledialogue.com.
Pussy.
Thanks.